Hey everyone, and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be talking about proper practice techniques. So I hope that this is going to be a little bit of a short video just to remind us about some of the core tenets of proper practice. We've already highlighted the difference between practice, play, and learning. And I just want to reiterate a few things. This is stuff that we've already talked about, but just so that there's a singular video about it. When we're talking about practice, we're talking about something very specific, and the way to optimize that practice is by holding ourselves to a few things. If we are playing through a piece or learning a piece and we're reciting it to ourselves, let's say like we're playing the song. If I'm playing through like a classical piece, there's a few sloppy notes in there, right? So I could highlight, okay, there's a few sloppy notes in there. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go directly to the problem, right? Where was it? Right, let's say it's there. So you go. Slow it down. Maybe to a metronome as well. So we can slow it down to a metronome. We isolate the problem. We try to get it more clean. This is the part that I call isolation. This has also been called chunking by other teachers. This is where we're taking a small chunk in between like a couple notes even to maybe a bar, maybe 2 bars, maybe 4 bars, right? The chunk can be any size, but we really want to set ourselves up to succeed. So the smaller the chunk is at first, we can slowly add to that over time. That's part of the integration phase. So the isolation is the chunking, right? Where we're taking a really small sliver of this, and then we are integrating that to the whole. Right. And this can be applied to almost anything. If we're changing chords. So we can isolate those chord changes, right? That is isolation. We want to go slow enough to give ourselves as much chance of succeeding as we can. We want to be right behind the frets, kind of thinking about all the factors that we need to. So just taking a small piece and then putting it into the whole. And sometimes you'll find that you're still getting tripped up when you integrate it. And that's very normal. So we need to take a little bit of time to play that slowly as well and to stay aware when we are integrating the isolated parts. A big mistake that people make is they just isolate and then they go back into autopilot and they start the integration. And then they still make the same mistake and they think, well, what the heck? I did all that practicing. But you only practiced it with the awareness for a short amount of time to fix the problem in isolation. So when we are integrating the isolated part, we have to be aware that we might slip into autopilot. And if we do, we want to remind ourselves, especially for that part that you're trying to integrate now, that you have to be extra aware. So that when you are integrating it, you are keeping all of the new knowledge that you've made and the new forms and the new pathways in your mind abreast when we are doing that. So that is isolation and integration to the whole part. So we want to take like a couple notes or a couple chords, we repeat it till we're feeling really confident. We can speed it up a little bit. We feel really confident. We add a little bit extra. We play it in context of a bar or two. And then maybe we can add that to the whole section, or start from the beginning of the tune and then play through to that part. That is what we mean by isolation and integration. And that is very important. And in my view, we are not actually practicing unless we are doing that. We are playing. Right? So this is very important to take to heart. When we are practicing, we are doing isolation and integration. And we're going to build on that in these next few sessions.